Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, let's just dive on in and let's start off with this post here from Tony Edward. Now, I'm going to go back to October 19th for this because I want to bring this statement up because there's a lot of information regarding this. Now, as we look at the XRP case and as we look at the XRP community as well, this is one of the most interesting projects, communities, and even the cases of all time within crypto. And the reason why I say that is because there's a large crowd in this space that wishes Ripple and XRP never existed, right? There's also a lot of major players that are very prominent names as well that wish XRP was never in this space at all. We see from Tony Edward, Thinking Crypto One, he's saying a lot of people keep acting surprised by the rulings and the news in the SEC versus Ripple case. Many expected Ripple to get destroyed and XRP to be killed off. This viewpoint is as a result of the following. One, bias, because they hold a competing asset such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. They are not looking at the situation from a neutral standpoint, underestimating how much the SEC has to hide with the Bill Hinman Ethereum free pass and other corruption. And also three, lack of education on the situation, understanding the history of Ripple, XRP, and the crypto market as a whole. And again, this is one thing that I mentioned many times in the past. As we actually look at XRP, as we look at this entire space, there has been so much corruption, manipulation, and just, falsified information that has come out regarding XRP and the entire community behind it as well. There's been a lot of great names in the space that have put a spotlight on a lot of that corruption, and they have been targeted for that as well. But beyond that, I do think that we really need to start talking about it again, because at the end of the day, we know there's a lot of problems right now in this space regarding assets within the top 10. One of those assets is Ethereum. We know a free pass happened. We know that there was fraud. We know that there was payoffs. And guess what? We need accountability. We demand it. Listen, the XRP case brought on $15 billion worth of damages off of just the first announcement of it. Imagine how much money was lost during the bull market because XRP was suppressed heavily. It didn't even make a new all-time high, while Ethereum went on to hit almost a $600 billion market cap. This is the cost of, again, paying off government agencies. Now, beyond this, Steven Arioff has been a very vocal, prominent name around this. He's actually been speaking out about this. You guys probably know a few of these posts that I did include in recent videos. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this back up is because Charles Gasparino, this is a name that has floated around the space for a while. Now, in the beginning, he was very neutral on this case. He was actually in support of Ripple and even XRP, and he actually spoke highly of Ripple and XRP. Today, it seems as though his stance has changed. He has even stooped so low to actually target prominent community members like Cowboy Crypto and many other ones, talking about the price of XRP, talking about how they're living in their mother's basement as well. This is an individual that is absolutely unhinged and ridiculous. I mean, the amount of unprofessionalism coming from this individual is ridiculous. And again, it's a lot of childlike behavior. But again, this is an individual that at first was supporting Ripple and XRP. And I question what changed, what has happened. And then we got this. So Steven Arioff put out a tweet saying protecting Clayton will be a scandal for Fox Business. He was chair when they tried to falsely imprison me for decades and wrongly pursued Ripple. He will be exposed and anyone protecting him. Hey, Payday J, just between us, I know the other thing you did that you needed to silence me. Quite the coincidence. My arrest date, eh? And again, we see Charles Gasparino getting tagged here. Now over here, we see Charles responding, saying, publishing this lie is slanderous. I would sue this moron, except he's so friggin' dumb. His conspiracy theory is so idiotic, there would be no damages. Sad ha. Then we get this response by Steven. I very much welcome a lawsuit. Just keep in mind, you and your attorney get sanctioned if it was purely frivolous, and you knew it wasn't true, but you would never sue me because I would get access to complete discovery of your records. You would get mine too, and I'm great with that because as the government found out, I'm clean, hence why they had to fabricate a crime. If you're good with that, I'll waive the sanctions and let's have a lawsuit. I'm really very eager for someone to sue me, but nobody will because anything I say is truth with backup documentation, or like in your case, was a question. A lawsuit would allow me to do depositions and discovery, and that's the last thing anyone wants from me. Meantime, but let this friggin' dumb moron who happens to be a lawyer who just beat multiple federal agencies, so let me help you out. This is not legal advice. Now again, this tells me, and by the way, Charles didn't respond back to this. Like there was no response back to this. Again, he started to go back to responding to a bunch of other individuals, but it's actually pretty crazy. It's crazy to see someone like this going after an entire community. It just doesn't make sense to me unless he has some type of tie back to this whole conspiracy theory that people have been saying it is, even though we know that this is the truth. There has been corruption, there has been manipulation, there has been payoffs, there has been fraud. So it seems as though Charles might be tied back to this, and maybe, who knows, maybe Fox Business is tied back to it as well. But we do see from Cowboy Crypto, he's actually talking about how, again, Steven basically wrecked Charles on this response, and we also have the response from Steven being tagged within this. And by the way, this does go on to mention quite a bit regarding this. This is his not legal advice, essentially. And again, like we didn't get a major response at all from Charles Gasparino. He just started to respond back to people that were responding to this tweet, which tells me something is up here. Also, we have Charles Hoskinson, which you guys are probably all aware of. We have Mr. Huber posting this quote. Now, again, you know my opinion on Charles Hoskinson. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, you'll know in about a couple seconds. But you see, did the Ethereum founders use connections and maybe even money to convince the SEC? Yes, probably. All right, well, right there's corruption. But this is not corruption, just favoritism. I mean, this is the type of people that are trying to say that the XRP community is conspiracy theorist and how we're in the wrong and how, you know, ETHgate is not real. This is comical. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because of this post here from Steven Narioff. Now, he's responding to Boring Sleuth over on Twitter. Because he actually put out a tweet talking about the DAO behind Ethereum's roots and talking about all of the connections back to the SEC and the DOJ. There's a lot of information within this to really kind of go over, mainly just wallet IDs and stuff like that. But we actually see from Steven, he goes, the favoritism shown in the 2017 DAO report was arguably more egregious than the 2018 free pass speech. Both were authored by Bill Hinman, placed at the SEC May 2017, and under Jay Clayton. Boring Sleuth has confirmed the suspicions I have had back then. Some thoughts. And we do see DAO report July 2017, despite blatant violations, the SEC took no action and justified this leniency by saying it's a warning for the future grandfathered. But instead, the SEC charged other entities for much less clear violations that predated this so-called warning. Why? They actually even used information in the Ripple case with XRP dating all the way back to like 2014, I think. It might have even been 2013. Actually, yeah, we actually see Steven talking about that here in the next post beyond this. But we do see answer. The people behind the DAO were insiders at Ethereum. I was there, and Boring Sleuth's data confirms the suspicions I had back then, but couldn't verify. Some examples of enforcements against entities who should have been grandfathered like the DAO, but were prosecuted instead. 2017 DAO met all Howey prongs, was a centralized entity with total control and marketed the DAO tokens with an expectation of profit. Yet, they sue Ripple for sales from 2013. Like I said, 2013, and LBRY from 2015, neither of which even had an ICO. 2017, DAO operated an unregistered securities exchange and the DAO tokens were deemed securities, yet SEC brings action against Coinbase, which started in 2012, and none of their listings were ever deemed securities. DAO's co-founders and others decided to fork Ethereum and get the Ether back. Let's be clear, others means Vitalik, and he made the call. A year later, Hinman didn't see a central third party despite, again, Vitalik before the speech, or messaging Vitalik before the speech. Vitalik is skinny, but how could he have missed him? That's a great joke. Press release said, in light of the facts and circumstances, these are the people who sent us here. The agency has decided not to bring charges in this instance or make findings of violations in the report, but rather to caution the industry and market participants, adding the SEC's Office of Investor Education and Advocacy today issued an investor bulletin educating investors about ICOs. So the DAO got an educational letter and everyone else got an enforcement letter. Only consistency here is all this occurred under Dirty Hinman and Payday J and secret meeting with Joe Lubin, other usual suspects, and here are those names, who took over the New York regional office from Mark Berger and continued by fabricated prosecution. Thank you, Boring Sleuth. And again, all of this can be connected back to ETHgate. So when I see people talking down on XRP and talking down on Ripple and talking down on the community and calling the community this, that, whatever, this makes me think that they were connected to this. And by the way, we got a shocking discovery from Nerd Nation Unbox. Check this out. So we see originally from October 19th, far-right billionaire Peter Thiel revealed as FBI informant. Imagine that. Peter Thiel is a co-founder of Palantir, which was a client of Bill Hinman, Simpson Thacher. Palantir signed a contract with the SEC back in 2015 worth $43 million, and again after Hinman joined the SEC worth $32 million. Thiel sits on the board of directors for Facebook, who led the Facebook IPO. Bill Hinman from STB, not to mention the Thiel Fellowship awarded of $100,000 in 2014 was awarded to Vitalik Buterin, creator of Ethereum, who gave Ethereum a free pass. Oh, that's right, Bill Hinman. ETHgate, no coincidences. So yeah, this seems as though the SEC literally had, Ethereum literally had the SEC, the DOJ, and even the FBI connect it back to the foundation. This is very interesting. And we even get a response from Steven Narioff. Wait, what? SEC Gov investigation began same month Vitalik won Thiel award, June 2014, and ended when I exposed a false prosecution by multiple agencies and informants, including by the SEC, who is not supposed to use informants. I knew Peter when we worked with Elon at PayPal. Wow. And here we actually have a response in terms of an email. This is pretty crazy if you actually think about this. Like the corruption, the manipulation, things like this, they run so damn deep. It's insane to me. And by the way, here we have from Cowboy Crypto, he's actually tying everything together on all of the connections back to Block One. We're talking about Galaxy here, Founders Fund. We're also talking about Tether. I mean, it's pretty crazy when you actually look at a lot of these connections. I mean, it all goes right back to Bill Hinman. Bill Hinman, the SEC, Jay Clayton, all of these big players are all tied together. This is why we've always said, like around this entire space, that ETHgate is so much bigger than just Ethereum. It's so much bigger than crypto. This is a massive game of corruption, fraud, manipulation. I mean, it is seriously one of the biggest cases out there. And I do fear that it's going to just get swept under the rug because of so many names tied to it. And we'll probably never see a day where accountability is truly realized. Again, I think that it's great that Ripple is finally getting through the SEC's warpath. And I think that it's great that XRP has been cleared. But it seriously doesn't make up for what we've had to go through. And it really doesn't make up for the fact that Ethereum got the free pass. It doesn't make up for the fact that we still have clowns like Charles Gasparino and Charles Hoskinson really kind of parading around all over social media, clowning on the community that seriously has been fighting back against this corruption and unfair moves being made behind the scenes through money deals and backdoor deals. Like, it's insane. It really is insane. And I think that that's exactly why we have a lot of people that are surprised by the rulings and surprised by the news regarding this Ripple and XRP case. And I think that it's also the same reason why we have a lot of people saying, you know, we want Ripple and XRP to go down big. Because again, these are people that, you know, are competing. They are competing and they know they can't compete because, again, the efficiencies here, the technology behind it, it's far too great to ignore. This is a game changer. And also beyond that, it also proves to you just how low some of these people will scoop just to kind of, you know, get an upper hand in this market. Absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this. If you guys did enjoy the video, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Peace out.